Hi, I'm Christian Campa presenting Making Moral Machines for the Technology in the Global Arena video presentation taught by Professor Max Langen. I've done my best in trying to make this presentation comprehensive enough, so I hope you will enjoy it. The idea that machines could one day possess the ability to understand and internalize a system of ethics has been floated since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Automation has seen the rapid replacement of human operators with technological innovation. As autonomous vehicles hit the streets, the conversation has once again seen a resurgence in interest. Many even wonder if this breakthrough will happen in our lifetimes. For the near future, however, this is a moot point. The morals of today and likely tomorrow's machines are the moral of its programmer and how they design the system to react to certain parameters. Self-driving cars that are fully automated are still a few years away. We currently sit between level 3 and 4 of the autonomous scale, and we don't even expect to perfect level 4 for around a decade to come, much less reach full level 5. Companies and the programming teams designing the software that will run these vehicles are still working out not only the technological barriers, but also the question of which ethics standards they should apply to these machines of tomorrow. Even today, most companies have likely not made a formal decision, much less have decided to announce those standards to the public. Mercedes-Benz has been one of the first to wade into the controversial waters, with the announcement last year that their cars will prioritize their occupants' safety over that of pedestrians. The German company's announcement sent shockwaves through the Central European country and ignited a national conversation. The bigger question may be, what will the regulatory bodies decide? After all, in the end it most likely will be decided by our governments. To shed light on that, we can look to public sentiment. A 2015 study found that when asked between saving many pedestrians over a driver, 76% of people agreed with the utilitarian perspective of saving as many people, even if it meant sacrificing those inside the car. Further studies found that people's answers changed depending on the scenario, ascribing different values to different people. Yet the same survey found that those people would prefer a car that protected themselves over pedestrians and wouldn't buy one that could end up sacrificing them. Ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or how they conduct an activity. Normative ethics is specifically the study of ethical action. It is the branch of ethics that investigates the set of questions that arise when concerning how one ought to act, morally speaking. Individuals can often have conflicting or unclear ethics. Drawing from that information, I present John Doe, a programmer for Company A who is tasked with programming a fully automated vehicle for sale on the market. As of yet, the government has deferred to manufacturers to set procedures for self-driving vehicles. Public opinion in this market reveals strong support for AVs that will prioritize pedestrians over vehicle occupants. However, this market also believes that a car that will save them over others is the better product. He and the company has decided that a car should never sacrifice its occupants for strangers. John believes a car should remain loyal to its occupants and prioritize their safety. This will reflect in the car's programming. Utilitarian ethics considers good to mean any action which results in more happiness and success than unhappiness and failure. The most positive outcomes is always the best outcome, even if there are negatives. By contrast, ethical egoism follows that moral agents ought to only do what is in their self-interest. For example, placing an oxygen mask over yourself in a plane. Egoism contends that you have no duty other than to do what is best for yourself. Though similar, it shouldn't be confused with psychological egoism, which tries to explain what people do actually rather than what they should do. Everyone acting in their own self-interest to improve their lives results in an improved world overall. Whereas in our previous example, helping yourself first with an oxygen mask is important because oxygen deprivation can quickly rob you of your ability to make rational choices. Some egoists even argue that altruism and helping others can lead to dependency, which actually makes things worse. From the perspective of ethical egoism, John and Company A's decision to prioritize the vehicle occupants is good. John's role is to write a working program that will satisfy his boss and sell their product. By taking this decision, he has not only supported his own employment interests, but the company as a whole succeeds, which also benefits him. As I mentioned in the study earlier, the majority of potential customers will want to buy Company A's car in lieu of a utilitarian-minded competitor because they worry that the car may sacrifice them. This is because it is also in the customer's self-interest to buy a car that will prioritize their own safety. Of course, not everyone would be happy with John and Company A's decision. It can be argued that this violates the ACM's do no harm principle, but that principle also states that the harm must not be intentional, which it is not in this case. And the idea is still to mitigate harm overall. Many will criticize this on utilitarian principles, because it can result in a situation where many are sacrificed for the few. However, autonomous vehicles will still likely be safer and may even advance to the point where these controversial ethical situations never come up to be tested. The fact is, people have shown that they would rather not buy a car that may sacrifice them for others. Since self-driving cars are expected to save many lives from human error and are already safer than human drivers, it is better to have more selfish people in AVs than selfish people in normal vehicles. All these people acting in their own interests results in a better world, where driving becomes safer and perhaps won't kill millions every year. While I was doing some research, I found an ethical study that uses a program to test respondents' answers to ethical dilemmas revolving around cars related to this subject. The Moral Machine is said to be one of the largest studies ever taken, thanks to its interactivity and spread through online personalities like PewDiePie. The link to the site is moralmachine.mit.edu if you'd like to check it out. Thank you for watching my presentation. I look forward to watching yours. And finally, screw Max for making us do these.